Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you. We're here to talk about macroeconomics. At the end of this talk, my hope is that you'll have a greater love for the economy. My name is Bruce Kerber. I'm the author and originator of the Divine Economy Models and the Divine Economy Theory. I'm an economist in the classical liberalism tradition. Today, we're going to consider the following statement on a screen share. Concomitantly, there is no certainty, and therefore there is no guarantee that any effort made by a producer interacting in the market will yield a profit. It is a simple fact that all exchanges that take place during the market process occur because of a double inequality of values. Will an exchange take place? Exchange occurs only when both parties value what they receive higher than what they give. Today's example is as follows. Joyce strutted through the neighborhood farmer's market like a philosopher on a quest for enlightenment. Except instead of pondering the mysteries of existence, she was mentally calculating whether organic honey was really worth triple the price of the regular kind. With the discipline of a seasoned economist, or at least someone who had learned not to impulse buy overpriced lavender sachets, she scrutinized each item, weighing its immediate necessity against its potential to become just another forgotten trinket gathering dust. Then, halfway through her journey of self-restraint, she met her match, a glass horse, poised mid-gallop, beckoning to her like an overpriced siren of nostalgia. Suddenly, she was 11 again, staring into the soulful eyes of a real horse she once adored, before cruel fate and her parents' moving van wrenched them apart. This wasn't just a purchase, it was a cosmic reunion. Of course, the sculptor, an artist but no fool, was well aware of the emotional warfare at play. The haggling began, an intricate dance of economic philosophy disguised as polite bartering. Joyce, determined to honor the past but not go bankrupt in the present, worked the price down. The sculptor, who had invested blood, sweat, and at least two existential crises into this piece, held firm. In the end, a deal was struck. Joyce parted with her money, feeling richer for the loss, while the sculptor pocketed the cash, feeling lighter for the gain. Both walked away victorious in the great market of life, where sentimental longing and financial pragmatism collide in a beautiful, absurd, and strangely satisfying way. Concomitantly, there is no certainty, and therefore there is no guarantee that any effort made by a producer interacting in the market will yield a profit. It is a simple fact that all exchanges that take place during the market process occur because of the double inequality of values. Will an exchange take place? Exchange occurs only when both parties value what they receive higher than what they give. Do we ever do anything that is not profitable? Ah, profit, the misunderstood mastermind behind our every move, lurking in the shadows like a villain in a bad spy movie. The mere mention of it is enough to send certain folks into a dramatic monologue about the evils of capitalism, all the while conveniently sipping on an overpriced organic oat milk latte that, surprise, someone made a profit on. Let's not kid ourselves. Do we ever do anything that isn't about making a profit? We wake up in the morning not because we enjoy the soul-crushing sound of an alarm clock, but because the alternative, sleeping in and achieving the rare distinction of chronically unemployed, has diminishing returns. We go for a walk because the profit is a sense of virtue, a fleeting illusion of fitness, and maybe, just maybe, enough fresh air to justify binge watching a TV series later. We call friend, not out of pure selflessness, but for a reliable return on investment, social validation, synchronized complaining, and the sweet satisfaction of hearing someone else's life choices are just as questionable as ours. And yet, there are those who slander profit as if it isn't the reason they have Wi-Fi, a favorite brunch spot, and a thriving online cart full of things they swear they need. Sure, sometimes the pursuit of profit goes sideways, like investing in a business idea that your mother only pretends to believe in, or committing to a gym membership in January like you'll be a different person this year. But that's the magic of it. Even failure has a return. We call it life experience. A loss today, just an unpaid internship in the school of reality. So yes, every human action is profit-driven, even the questionable ones. After all, what is life if not a series of strategic investments, some of which will inevitably depreciate faster than the juicer you swore you'd use? What can we learn from this life lesson? We practice the great and noble art of knowing oneself, a skill that, if we were being completely honest, is mostly trial and error with a dash of wishful thinking. We are, of course, the architects of our own domain, rulers of our tiny personal kingdom, sovereign over our likes and dislikes, until, of course, we're faced with a dessert menu or a Black Friday sale, at which point all self-knowledge promptly flies out the window. But no matter, we, the wise and enlightened consumers, set out into the world seeking self-betterment, or, let's be real, a moderately good deal on something we didn't know we needed. And lo, a miracle occurs. We find exactly what we're looking for, or, at the very least, something that suddenly seems like what we're looking for. And then the sacred ritual. Haggling, hesitating, pretending to walk away as though we have the iron will of a monk, only to cave in seconds later because, let's be honest, we were always going to buy it. The beauty of this process, the seller thinks they got the better deal, and so do we. This, my friends, is the invisible hand of the market giving us all a reassuring pat on the back. And so we sing the praises of this omnipresent, omnipotent force, this grand, ceaseless exchange of goods, services, and the occasional questionable life choice. For in the end, we all walk away believing we are now better off than before, which is perhaps the greatest economic miracle of them all. I hope you'll subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll see you next time.